What's up, ladies? I'm actually just reopening my Facebook really quick while you guys get on so I can see your names because if you didn't grant access to StreamYard, I can't see it, and I really want to see your wonderful name. Cool. So I'm going to pin this. Great. Hello, lovely ladies. I'm very excited to be here with you today. We've had lots of questions coming in on the post that's pinned that says, what problems are you experiencing right now? Share them below so I can make a live video helping you solve it. So that's what I'm going to do for you right now. Helping you solve it. Sorry. Okay, great. So we have two different questions that I'm going to go ahead and answer today. The first one was, how do I know if my macros are even right? I used an online calculator, or I used your calculator, the Queens of Iron one. How do I know if these are really right for me? And am I supposed to change them? Like, what am I supposed to do after I have this baseline macro, right? The second question I'm going to ask is, Brianna, she said, I would love to not hyper focus on food. Do you think it's essential to always track macros? I love that question. These are both great questions. So let's dive in. Please say hello as you're coming on so I can definitely say hello to you. And then if there's any questions that come up as I'm talking about this, or even just different questions, post them in the comments, or you can go ahead and send me a direct message as well. Just click my name, send me a message. I'm always here to help as much as possible, okay? Beautiful. All right, so Tori Healy, she said, how do I know if my macros are right? So I'm going to go, hey, Carla, hello. So I'm going to go through a few of these. So the first one is, you must get into compliance. If you are not in compliance, there's no way to know if those macros are really right for you. So let's talk through a little bit of this. This may be repetitive for some of you, but ladies, the more you hear it, the more you action it, the more you digest it and just hear it over and over and over, it gets easier. You'll understand it more. So if you've heard it before, just keep listening, okay? So compliance. For Queens of Iron clients, that means all three macros fall between negative or positive 5 grams, okay? 0 to 5 grams each day. Unless you're tracking alcohol, that's a whole nother story. If you need help with that, let me know, okay? So you must get into compliance consistently. Okay, at least 5 days out of the last 7 needs to be in that compliant to really see how is your body responding to those macros. Do not take your progress the day or 2 or sometimes even 3 after you're off track. Your body's going to be bloated. The scale's going to go up. Things are going to be different. It's not an accurate depiction of what's happened, right? So get yourself consistent on those macros, compliant and consistent on those macros, then track your progress and see what change did I see. I would not advise using only the scale. Some of our clients don't use the scale at all because mentally they don't want to use it. It's like, we don't even need the scale. We just need measurements. I like to see photos as well, but measurements are where it's at. We take waist, low belly, the largest part of the glute, and 2 thigh measurements, okay? This gives such a good understanding of what's happening in her body. So if you're wanting fat loss and weight loss, that's called a deficit, right? And what we'd recommend is about 2, sometimes 3 of those 5 measurement drops by 0.5 centimeter each week. That's a really healthy and sustainable rate of loss, and it's going to keep your muscle mass. Ladies, if you are losing weight too fast, you're losing that beautiful muscle mass. We don't want to do that because you can gain muscle and lose fat at the exact same time. We added that in the protein research review, but it does take having a really healthy deficit. Typically, we have ladies in about a 25% deficit. It is a bit on the more aggressive side, but it's also a very safe rate of loss. So they can see results every week, but are still growing and preserving muscle mass. Okay, so make sure you're not losing too fast. Pound-wise, we like for ladies to see about 1 to 1.5 pound fat loss per week. But again, the scale fluctuates, and so tracking your measurements is way more accurate. So that's the first way to know if your macros are right for you, is getting compliant, getting consistent, and then tracking measurements, tracking how your clothes fit, tracking how you feel, if you have more energy, right? If you're feeling kind of draggy, cranky, heavy, your macros aren't right for you. It might not be calorie wise. The calories might be okay, but you may need to drop your fat and increase carb, or vice versa, or you may need to drop your protein, right? So it's not just about what your body is doing in terms of like, I look great. It's also, how do you feel internally? Okay. So that's one way. Just make sure that you're tracking progress in some way, a consistent way. Otherwise, there's no way to know if your macros are right for you. If you're just using the scale, there's no way to know if your macros are right for you. We've had women, they go do a leg day and then their thigh measurement increases, their weight increases. It's like you're just inflamed. Your waist came down, your low belly came down, you look shredded in your pictures. So take a deep breath. I know that was a lot of information and a lot of ways to track. Just start one day at a time. You don't have to know everything right now, right? It's like take one bite of the elephant at a time. Keep listening to these videos, keep asking questions, keep showing up. You'll gain a lot more knowledge and it will compound over time, okay? If anyone feels lost in the sauce, comment and we'll talk through it. I'll break it down, okay? Okay, now the next one. So that's how you know if they're right for you, is getting compliant, getting consistent, and having a specific way you track progress, okay? The next one is, she asked, how do I change my macros? Like if they're not right for me, well, let's talk about that. How do you know if they're not right for you? Okay, if you, I'm like, this might ruffle some feathers. Let's see. If you are lifting weights and tracking macros and your goal is to have the scale go down, yet the scale is going up, you're not on the right macros for you, or you're not consistent or compliant. But let's assume you are really consistent and compliant and the scale is going up and you don't want it to. Those are not the right macros for you. I know some women say, oh, but muscle weighs more than fat, which is so freaking minimal, by the way. It's like negligible amount. And so someone will say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But it's like some women want the scale to go down and that's perfectly fine. So if it's going up because you're lifting weights, that's great. You're growing muscle mass, but you just need lower macros. Or if you're super low, you may need a reverse diet and you may need higher macros. That may confuse some. Let me know if you, ladies, are you following me so far? Can you drop a 1 in the comments? Like, are you following me so far? Is this making sense and I can keep pushing on? Or drop a 2 if you're like, what? What'd you just say? Can you say it maybe a little more layman's terms? Like, okay, beautiful. I see 1 coming in. Oh, fabulous. Ladies, crushing it. Beautiful. Okay. Great. Now I'm like, where was I? Cool. Let's talk. Yeah, lots of 1s coming in. Good. And I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. So that's how you know if they're not right for you, right? If something is happening in the opposite way you want it to be happening, something just needs to change. We have total control over our body, our health, everything. Now, there's a lot of variables, right? There are hormones that come into play. There are a time where your body's like, I feel at a healthy weight, I don't want to change. But if your goal was to lose like 15 or 20 pounds and your weight is not changing, more than likely something needs to be adjusted in the fitness or the nutrition realm. Also, what we have found with hormones, the majority of it comes down to lifestyle and being on the right macros. Being on the right macros helps is because you're giving your body what it needs. Some women need higher fat. Most women need, well, the majority of women who lift weights need higher carb, right? So if a macro is off, that can affect hormones as well. So being on the right macros for your body naturally is going to help regulate your hormones, which is so beautiful. So sometimes it's like people are trying to solve it through all these medications. And although that can certainly help, let's have the long-term healthy, sustainable approach, which is get your nutrition on point, lift weights, learn how to live a healthy and sustainable lifestyle with balance. So you can still go have some wine, you can still go have your food, you can still live your lifestyle, but you're fit, you're healthy, you love your body, you're active, right? So it's really just finding that beautiful balance. If you want to deep dive into what you should be experiencing in a deficit, in maintenance, in a surplus, how to reverse diet, I made a very detailed video. You can comment phase change video in the comments. I'll send you that. It tells you what should you look for in each phase. How do you know when to change your macros? What should you change them to and how you reverse diet? So just type phase change video. I'll send you that. I won't get into the weeds for this one. Okay, her next question was, how do I meet my goals every day but still have variety? I'm eating the same foods. I'm getting so bored. Like, how do I do this? I don't have that much time to cook, but I need more variety. Got you, Brandon. This one, so some easy swaps you can make is like, got you ladies, is just change your vegetable source, right? So let's say, for example, this one's common. You're eating chicken, rice, and veg, right? Let's say you eat okra for 2 days, have broccoli for 2 days, have asparagus for 2 days, have mushrooms and onions and bell pepper. That itself can make your meal taste different, right? Because it's different. And having variety is so important because you're getting different vitamins and minerals in your body. Whereas if you're eating the same foods day after day after day after day, A, it gets boring. B, you're creating no sustainable lifestyle habits. You're taking the easy way out, which does not serve you long term, right? It's going to get boring. You're going to fall off. And sometimes you can cause a vitamin and mineral deficiency because you're not getting enough sources. You're not getting enough variety. So certainly keep that in mind. Another thing for easy swaps that make things taste and feel really different is seasonings, changing up your seasonings, doing a barbecue seasoning, doing pescado, doing, which is fish in Spanish, doing carne asada, like all different kinds, lemon pepper, right? It does change the dish. You can change your condiments. I do cafe yum sauce if you're from the Pacific Northwest. There's tons of different condiments you can do that totally changes the meal, right? Another one is just change your carbs. So you can have same protein, same veg. I mean, you should do different veg, but just changing your carb. So if you do rice, do pasta one day. Do barley. Barley is so good if you haven't had it. Do barley. Do oats, right? There's tons of different kinds of pastas, tons of different types of rices, sweet potato, red potato, yams, right? Like there's really small changes you can make. So just the carb, right? But it does totally change the dish. And again, it gives you different vitamins and minerals and more vitamins and minerals, which is really good. Especially sweet potato, right? It's high in nutrients, whereas rice, not so much. So it's like, instead of just eating rice all day long, it's like, okay, well, how about some sweet potato? Or how about some barley? How about some quinoa or lentils, beans? I do black beans as your carb source. Great source of fiber. Again, lots of vitamins and minerals, okay? Then the protein too, really easy swaps. You can do chicken breast. Oh, today maybe I'll just do a shrimp cocktail, right? It's so easy. There's no prep time and it's delicious and like all protein, very, very low calorie. That one's awesome. I actually haven't done that recently, but that one's so great, especially for the summer. You can also take that entire shrimp cocktail and throw it on your salad or throw it on, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a cold pasta salad. You can put all these shrimps on the cold pasta salad, right? So you have lots of lean protein, which is really great. You can do turkey, bison, beef, crab cakes, right? Is one, little high in fat with those ones. But I think sometimes people overthink it. Like, I have to make these massive recipes. It's like, I rarely to never, ever make recipes. I don't have time to do all that cooking. I run a business, right? I have clients. I'm a single parent, the only parent to my 4-year-old, right? We have so many different hats. I lift weights naturally myself, right? I have friends and social life. So it's like, it's okay if you don't have time to cook. Easy meals, batch cook vegetables. I do a rotisserie chicken every single week. Take all the skin and the fat off, the bones off, because then you have this beautiful Tupperware of lean chicken that also tastes great cold. So you can throw it on top of salads and stuff like that. I batch cook everything and then just heat the meals in a pan. I think the microwave makes it taste pretty nasty. And so women are like, I don't really want to eat that. It's not good. It's like, no, it's really not good. So I heat up a pan on medium heat, let it get nice and hot, spray it with pan spray, and then throw the leftovers in there. Let it brown up a little bit. Do a little more pan spray actually on the food. So it's just light oil. Season it up. Take it off. It's so good. It's so good. So that's just a very quick approach to having healthy meals. Okay. Does that help, ladies? Can you go ahead and drop a 3 in the chat? Does that help have different meals? Does it make sense why you'd have variety? Does that help with the cooking? Let me know. Also makes sense about, yeah, I got you, ladies. Beautiful. Good. I'm glad that helps. Some of the stuff I like, oh, good, Brianna, you're on here. Perfect. I'm going to answer your question next. But sometimes it's like I speed through the information. And so if there's any point you need me to slow down, hey, Stephanie, any point you need me to slow down, just let me know and I'll do that. Great. I love to call all you ladies out by name, but a lot of times it says Facebook user because you just need to give me the StreamYard access. You just type your name, right? So some ladies I'm calling out by name, it's just because they gave me access. So I love to talk to all of you ladies. I'm sorry that I can't see all of your names, but you're all very important, definitely. Okay, great. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad that that's all making sense. Okay, the next question, Brianna, I love this question. She said, I would love to not hyper-focus on food. Do you think it's essential to always count macros? No, the answer is definitely not, because you don't want to count macros for the rest of your existence. That would be crazy. And then it's like, are they teaching you anything? Obviously not, right? So I will share with you our approach with clients and then what I personally do. And just let me know what you think about that. So we use macros as a tool, right? Macros are amazing because it is guaranteed results and they are laser specific for like one woman at a time, which is amazing because no two women are the same. Therefore, no two women can have the same macros or macro prescription. It's impossible. They might be similar. Maybe their lifestyle is similar, maybe whatever, but no two women are on the exact same macros, which is why macro calculators are wonderful. They do give you a great baseline. Caveat, make sure you know make sure you know who the creator created the macro calculator for. Every macro calculator is created for someone. If it's created for everyone, it's created for no one. The Queens of Iron macro calculator is created for women who lift weights, which is why our carbs are so much higher. We need that, right? If you don't lift weights, do not use our calculator. You might need to use a different one. So make sure you know who it's designed for before you use one, or your macros may be totally skewed, okay? It's also not designed for an endurance runner, like marathon runners, because their fat would need to be way higher and their carbs would need to be lower. So again, ours is just for women who lift weights. That is the community that we definitely serve. So macros are a great tool, again, to get guaranteed results and to create habits, ladies. Habits. It's not about restriction. It's not about, I'm going to cut out sugar and I'm going to cut out this and cut out that. It's like, but what happens when you go to a social event or a wedding, or you go camping, or you go on vacation and all that food is in front of you that you've cut it out? So when you eat it, your body is like, what am I supposed to do with this? You taught me how to no longer use this anymore, so I'm just going to store it as fat. Bad idea. That's called metabolic inflexibility. It's not a good thing. This is a drastic problem that comes with keto because women teach their body to no longer process carb. So when they add carb back in, they gain all these fat cells because their body's like, I don't know what to do with that anymore. You taught me to no longer use it. So then you gain all this fat back, and now it's like you're basically digging yourself out of the hole again. We want what's called metabolic flexibility, which means your body can process all three macros. There's 4, alcohol is 1. But metabolic flexibility is where your body can process protein, carb, and fat equally well. Like you are just a fat burning machine. It's great. A lot of health to your metabolism. This is what being on the right macros and learning the lifestyle tools is really going to do for you. It's wonderful. So what do I mean by learning lifestyle habits, right? It's like some people say, just fill your macros. Who cares what's in there? It's like, what? Don't do that. Oh my gosh, sorry, I totally just spit. I'm like, don't do that, right? We want to create habits around what's a healthy meal size for me? What's a healthy meal balance? Like how much fat, carb, protein should I be eating for my body, my lifestyle, my training demands? When I say training demands, I mean, what does your workout require from you, from your body, from your mind, from everything, right? We want to make sure that you're fueling your body with the right food, the right macros, and the right balance to nourish your body, to take care of your body. So then it's way easier to release the fat because your body's like, I'm good. You're taking care of me. I get what's happening. I'm processing well. So you're just much more easily shedding the fat and more easily gaining muscle. So then you're not having to rack your brain all the time like, am I even doing this right? Because then your body's going to make the changes happen that you're trying to make happen. Okay. So definitely habits like that. Also, we teach women how to work things in. So I'm thinking of one of our clients. She's like, me and so, we get together, and every time we get together, it's like once a month or something like that. We go get ice cream. I would hate to tell her I can't get ice cream because I'm like trying to lose weight. I'm like, do not do that. That is not teaching you a lifestyle. Work it into your macros. And so what I actually told her was I said, we pre-plan, right? Comment pre-planning below if you need help. I have a whole video walking you through it. It basically teaches you how to get compliant in your macros, okay? So I said, put in your ice cream first, work the rest of your day around it. So then you can go eat that ice cream guilt-free, still take care of your body, and still see results. It's wonderful. That is a balanced and sustainable lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. We need to have the lifestyle. Otherwise, it's but for a time, and then you're going to fall off. It's like, enough of that. Let's just go on the right path of, okay, I'm finally going to take control of my body and take control of my nutrition and my health once and for all, and then just maintain it. It's so much easier. So this isn't like a thing anymore, but it's just like who you are, right? It's wonderful. So that's what we teach, by the way, for those who are new. Okay, Brianna, back to your question. So I don't want to hyper focus on food. So what we do, right? So kind of circling back. So when women come into our program, usually their goal is, I want to tone up, right? I want to have that fit feminine physique. I would say maybe 80% you want to lose weight, right? 15 to 30 pounds. Some women are 40 to 80 pounds. I think pretty common, most women are 30 pounds or less-ish. But really, and then we have some who are super fit, really low body fat, but they're like, I don't love my shape. I don't feel amazing in my skin. So they're trying to reshape, which we love to do, reshape their body so you feel amazing, right? So whatever the goal is, we prescribe macros, definitely the right weightlifting program to build and shape your body. So we get the fat off through nutrition, build and shape through the lifting, and then do lifestyle coaching. So basically, we help women achieve their goal. We reverse diet to maintenance. Then it takes a totally different level of discipline in maintenance calories because you have more food and you feel amazing in your skin. And so you have to practice the discipline of, I've achieved my goals. I look great. I feel great. Oh, I'm still tracking my macros, but why? I already look amazing. The reason is because we want to help you establish that lifestyle so you don't have to think about it at a point. It's just who you are. It takes time, right? And that's okay. It's totally normal. We're reestablishing your lifestyle, like I said. So again, we use macros as a tool to get you to your goal, then to get you to maintenance, then to help you learn how to truly maintain in your lifestyle while teaching your body its new set point. Our bodies have a set point, right? So if you experience the gain, loss, your set point is the gain. We want to teach your body the set point is your goal. It's very possible. It just takes the reverse diet and the maintenance process. Then once you're past the maintenance, you've tracked macros in maintenance, depending on the woman, maybe about 4 months, establish that lifestyle. Then we wean women off of macros so you can just intuitively eat. It's wonderful. So you don't have to track anymore. What we typically do is we're like, definitely depending on the woman and her current level of discipline, we do like 2 days not tracking, 5 days tracking for a few weeks. Then we do 3 days not tracking, 4 days tracking for a few weeks, and so on until we get to 0 days tracking. But we do it like that, slow and steady, because we want to make sure the habits are still there when you don't have the accountability of the tracking app. MyFitnessPal and the tracking app, ladies, that's a level of accountability. You have to see what you're eating, right? That is a level of accountability. And some women say, oh, I didn't track that because I didn't want to see it. It's like, you don't have to shame yourself. Track it anyway. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. it's good to have awareness, right? That is a step of growth, because sometimes it's hard to see, and it's like learning how to have the love and the grace for yourself during that, but it's so worth it to have that level of awareness for sure. So that is how we wean people off. Now, I'll go ahead and share my personal journey and what I do. So I have a baby, or I guess not a baby anymore. He's a little over 4 years old. I had achieved my physique before I got pregnant, and then I got pregnant. I gained 50 pounds because I was very, very low body fat percentage. I had actually just done a bikini competition in South Korea, funnily enough. I was on active duty and loved what I looked like. Obviously, it's not sustainable competition, right? Got pregnant, gained 50 pounds. I totally lost my identity. After I gave birth, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. It was so challenging. It was so challenging. I gave birth at like 205 pounds. I had never in my life been above 160 at that point. Never. And it was really hard. And so obviously I dove right into macros, and I learned how to shape a physique because I was so desperate to live in a body that I loved and to feel confident, especially because at that time I found myself with a new baby and just me and the baby. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was the hardest time in my life, honestly. And so I was just desperate to feel amazing in my skin. I was desperate to just have that confidence and feeling really good, right? So anyway, so I accomplished a physique that I love. I can't remember exactly how long postpartum. I dove right in, like 4 weeks postpartum. I was going really light. So maybe let's say 8 months postpartum, I was good, right? I was feeling good. I think it was about that or something like that. I've maintained that. That was this whole time. So let's say maybe about 3.5 years, right? I do track macros still sometimes. So what I do is I took like 1.5 years off of tracking. I just maintained because I had developed my lifestyle by tracking. I also want to add, ladies, I go out to eat all the time, at minimum twice a week, minimum. I choose healthy options when I'm out. I love salads. I love healthy eating. I don't want to eat crappy food for my body. That being said, I still eat charcuterie boards. I still eat chocolate cake. I still do these things. It's just like how your day is balanced. If I eat a big fat piece of chocolate cake, the rest of my day is probably going to be filled with really clean protein and vegetables and fruit and healthy options, right? So it's not an all or nothing. It's some play foods and a lot of really healthy foods, right? So you can still have this lifestyle. So anyway, macros help me develop the lifestyle. I track macros now. I just track 5 days a week. I don't track on the weekends currently. Because I like to be very, very fit. I like to have my abs always showing because that's just where I feel best at. I also feel best when I'm eating within the macros I've set for myself, right? And so I do still track right now because, again, I just like to maintain a very, very tight level of fitness. I probably won't track during the winter, but for me, I actually like tracking macros. I really like it. It really is just a part of lifestyle. It keeps me on track. It keeps me accountable. It keeps me in total control over what my body looks and feels like. And I think so many of you women are so desperate to have that control. And it's doing the boring work. It's doing the boring work to get there. Tracking every day, right? Taking the time to put it in your log, which it gets faster, by the way. Taking the time to do your lift, getting enough sleep, taking the time to rest and relax and have friend and, loved one time, and just really developing a beautiful, healthy, fit, and balanced lifestyle. So it's not like we're going to race to the finish line and do a quick program and bam, that's it. Then I'm going to be good. It's like, let's just enjoy the journey to create your lifestyle. And then before you know it, you'll be like, how did I get here? I feel and look so good. How did I get here? It's like, because you took the pressure off of yourself and decided to just sit back and say, okay, this is just who I am. I'm just going to decide right now, no matter what I look and feel like, I'm just going to decide right now, I am a healthy, fit woman, totally capable of all this. And then just day after day, one step at a time. One thing, oh my gosh, I'm totally sharing this comment. Melina, is that how you pronounce it? Yes, yes, yes. I've been doing this for so long. It's just the second nature. Yes, 1,000,000% yes. It's just like, this is just who I am. I don't even really have to think about it. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. I completely agree. Yep, I completely agree. That is so right. And developing the lifestyle habits through macros, again, just makes it's just who you are. You don't even have to think about it. But one thing I was going to say, because deciding you're on the journey and then doing the journey, remember, it's never an all or nothing. We have clients where it's like, okay, we're going to set small goals. 1 day a week lift for some, 1 day a week macro compliance, right? Meet yourself where you are. You don't expect yourself to go 7 out of 7 compliance. It's like, okay, and then something crazy goes on with the schedule, but you don't yet have the tools to adapt and overcome and be flexible in all those situations. Allow yourself time to learn that, because if you don't, then you're going to feel frustrated that you failed. You didn't fail, girlfriend. You're learning. You have to learn, right? How many decades are we rewiring in your mind, rewiring habits, rewiring thought processes? How many decades or however long are we having to rewire and change? Give yourself time. Give yourself time to change and grow and all those things. Shauna, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I haven't emailed you back. I will email you back today. I'm doing my best to email back within 24 hours, and I did not do that with you, so I'm so sorry, girlfriend. I will email you back before the end of the night, okay? And also, those of you who are also waiting on an email reply, forgive me. I am working on it and making more time in my schedule to send you all emails. So I got you. I have you at the top of my mind, and I'll reply as soon as I can. So yeah, anyway, so the comment, yeah, I love that. Love tracking macros. It's like my daily challenge. Yep. It's beautiful. Love that. Great, ladies. What was your biggest takeaway from this talk today? Like, was there something today that was like, oh, light bulb moment? Or was there something that you got from this that you can go action? Like, share, what was your biggest takeaway? I want to hear, mainly because I want to make sure that you ladies are leaving with something. I want to make sure you ladies are leaving. Yeah, I love that. Here's one. Be patient with myself. That's beautiful. That's a great one. That's a great one. I want to make sure that either you feel inspired, empowered, or you're provided tools. Like, those are really the main points of this. I don't just want to like come on and chat. Like, I want to solve your problems so you can overcome the problems, right? And not have to deal with this again. It takes time. It really takes time. Let me know your takeaways, ladies. Send them in. If you got nothing out of it, please tell me. And then tell me what problem you're facing, because I want you to leave with something great today. So tell me the problem, and I am happy to sit here and solve it. Okay, a little bit more time. Don't be afraid to mix up food. Yeah, this one's great. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because if you're not mixing up food, you're not allowing the lifestyle habits to come into play. It's okay if you mess up. It's totally okay. You learn. Nothing is a failure unless you quit. Because if you fall or if you mess up, beautiful learning opportunity. If you nail it on the head, beautiful win. Either way is a win. The only time you fail is if you quit. So don't quit. Oh, I love that. I'm glad you're feeling inspired. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Be patient with myself. Give my body some time. Yeah. The rate of loss we typically like for women to see, granted, the scale fluctuates so much. So keep that in mind. Measurements are way more accurate. But the rate of loss we like for women to see is 1 to 1.5 pounds per week loss. It's really healthy. It's really sustainable. It maintains muscle mass. That's not that much in 1 week. It's like, oh, I only lost 1 pound. It's like, but what about in 6 weeks? That's 6 pounds. You know, it really adds up. It's worth it. In the Army, we said slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Just sit back, don't rush it, and just learn your body. Allow it to take place. Yeah, I love that. Great, ladies. Any questions? Anything that you want me to talk about or touch on before I hop off? Oh yeah, I'm a complete novice learning macros. Welcome. I love it. I'm sorry I don't have your name, but I love that. Welcome. I do have a course. It's $27, so there is a charge, but I do have a course taking women who know nothing about macros, literally teaching you like everything you need to know. You need to practice. There's a lot more to it. Some women have done it in 1 day, and it's super helpful. We've gotten great feedback. So if you're interested in that, you can type like macros course. But otherwise, just keep watching these videos. I actually aim to go live every single day, or Monday through Friday. Sometimes we just get really busy with clients, but I am working on that. So you can even send me a message if you want and say, hey, I'm new to macros. Can you send me some resources? And I'll tag you in some videos that I've done for beginners. I'm happy to do that. That goes for everybody. This is a good question, Melina. How do I deal with Hashimoto's? Yeah. It's just a little bit lower macros, a little bit lower initial macros. Actually, that's all it is, really. We do the same thing, right? Lifting routine, coach you into compliance with macros. We had one woman, she's still with us today. I love her so much. She came to me and she said, I have hypothyroidism and I'm completely stuck. I can't lose any weight because of this. And I'm like, come on in. Let me see what I can do. She's like, I think something like almost 30 pounds down, beautiful physique, like posting in her bikini, fit. You can see like her quad swoop, like she looks incredible. So the short answer and the very real answer is actually just getting her on the right macros for her body. 100%. Tracking her results week after week. How is her body responding? How is she feeling? How is her body changing? What's the fat loss, right? And just getting you on the right macros. How do you get the calculator? Great question. Let me post a link really quick. I love it. Oh, Melina, I just saw your comment about being diagnosed. Yeah, it does. You guys, I'm like blocked on Facebook right now because we're having so many conversations and sending so many resources. I apologize. It happens a decent amount. So if you go to the group, Macro Tracking and Weightlifting for Women, and if you scroll over, so this is the featured, if you scroll over, keep scrolling, bam, macro calculator right there. And in this post is the links for the macro calculator, or click my name right now and message me and say, can you please send me the macro calculator? And I'll send it to you. Beautiful. Okay, great. Yes, love, my pleasure. I'm happy to help. Thank you for your question too. Okay, this is such a good question. The macro calculator I use tracks net carbs. Is that okay? I would say no way, because then you're going to be eating more carb than you think you are. Net carb is just simply taking out fiber. I would not do that. I would track all the carb that you're eating. And then fiber levels, I would aim for about 25 grams of fiber per day. For most of our ladies, we recommend 500 grams of veg, 300 grams of fruit per day. And that naturally helps you hit your fiber goal. And honestly, that could be like 20 to 30 grams of carbs. So it seems like, wow, that's a lot, but it's like, it's not really. 150 grams of veg per serving, right, as an example. Beautiful, ladies. Okay, great. Great. Well, I'm going to hop off right now just so I can, keep working, keep getting after it. But any questions you have, you can drop them here. You can send me a message, or I did the post, like, what problems are you having? And I'll just keep making these videos. I'm here for it. Okay, I'm here to help you. Anything you need, let me know. Truly use me as a resource. I'm here to help you. I've been a trainer for almost 13 years now. I have, my bachelor's in exercise science, my master's in international business, loads of certifications. And my absolute specialty, my zone of genius, is shaping women's bodies, creating that beautiful fit feminine shape that she loves, and helping her find the exact macros she needs, creating the healthy and fit lifestyle, and reverse dieting to maintenance so you can maintain it for the rest of your life. So if you have questions about that, when I talk through that, let me know, because that is definitely what I hone in on. Great. Yes, I'm here to share everything. Yes, great. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you as well. And congratulations for taking the time and investing in your health and fitness by listening. But knowledge is not power by itself. Make sure you go action it. You must action it, okay? If you action it and you get stuck, send me a message. We'll talk through it. I'm happy to help you, okay? Great. Okay, ladies, I'll see you later. All my love to you. Have a great day.